Good morning, boys and girls. Mr. Baxter's Learning Channel is the place to be. It's the place to be. You're right. Happy Friday, guys. It is April the 17th, 2020, and we are going to do a very quick but very fun math lesson today. We're going to be looking at math, Eureka Curriculum Kindergarten Module 5, Lesson 3. Yes, Eureka Kindergarten Module 5, Lesson 3. All right, and so we're going to ask ourselves a couple of questions today to get started and figure out what we're learning. Where are we going? Where we're going is what we're going to be learning, and this is where we're going today. Just like yesterday, I can count to answer how many, and our numbers we're working with are the numbers 10 through 20. So that's where we're going. That's what we're going to be learning today. And let's show ourselves how do we get there. This is how we're going to know once we've got it, okay? We're going to say, I will say my answer, or remember that big math word, describe, as 10 ones and blank ones, which means we're going to have a group of 10 and some left over. And we have figured out our new math way to write those is to have a group of 10 ones and some ones left over. So this is how we will get there. Here's how we will show what we know. All right? Now, since we're doing math, I've got Mabel with me because Mabel starts with math. Got a little dressed up for you guys today because I wanted to feel like I was back in the Baxter Beehive, and we're going to ring our bell to get started, okay? Ooh, that doesn't sound very good, does it? Let's loosen up, get some good vibrations going. Every time I do this, guys, Cosmo's ears go. He loves the good vibration sounds. Can't see him, but he's just right off camera right over there. All right. So today, what we're going to do, guys, your seesaw activity that's going to go along with 5.3, this is what your story problem is going to look like today. You're going to be decorating a gingerbread man. This is what your worksheet is going to look like today. Followed by, this is the back half of your worksheet. And this is what we're going to be going over today for our math lesson. So very first, what we're going to do is we're going to look at our story problem, okay? So your story problem on Seesaw today is going to look like this. It's going to have a template that has an outline of a gingerbread man. And then you're going to have some sprinkles over on this side, and I want you to drag the sprinkles to match the story. Now, the story for this says that each gingerbread man got 10 sprinkles for buttons and 2 sprinkles for eyes. So notice how Mr. Baxter put 10 sprinkles in a row up and down, and I wrote my number here so I didn't get confused, and I put 2 sprinkles for the eyes. This is the way that your gingerbread man should look today for your story problem to go along with Eureka 5.3. All right, and that's showing us how we have a group of 10 ones and 2 more ones, which gives us 12 altogether. All right, so next, really quick before we get into you guys helping me out, I want to talk to you about a strategy today. All right, yesterday when we were looking at groups of objects and finding a set of 10 and some ones, we were putting checks on those, right? And then we put checks on the first 10, and then we found out how many were left over that didn't have checks. So how many had checks, 10, and however many didn't have checks was our ones left over. Well, today we're going to use a different strategy. We are going to circle the first group of 10s, all right? So I want you guys to follow along with me today. But first, I want to flash you guys a card, all right? It's got some dots drawn on it, and I want to see if you guys can find a group of 10 really quick, all right? So here's our card. Take a close look at it. Do you see 10? Right, I see 5 on top and 5 on the bottom. And we know 5 and 5 is what? 10, right. So with our strategy today, guys, what I want you to do, take your imaginary pencil and I want you to circle this group of 10 with me. So that shows us you have one group of 10 ones, and how many would we have left over? Right, we have 10 ones and 2 ones. So if we circled those guys, here's how it would look. I'll circle my group of 10. And you've got 10 ones and 2 ones. Great. Thank you for helping me out. So this, remember, is how we write that. We will write our new math sentence saying, I have 10 ones and how many were left over? 2. You're exactly right. So I can take my marker, where are you? And I can fill in my blank to say I have 10 ones and half a moon, more to do, slide to the right to make my 2 ones. So I have 10 ones and 2 ones. Now, that picture was kind of easy for us to figure out because they drew our dots like a 10 frame. But what if our pictures are all spread out? Do we know how to get through a picture like that? We have strategies that we can use, right? We can touch and count. You're exactly right. We can touch and count. So I want you guys to take a look at these pictures with me right here, all right? And as we do that, I'm gonna angle the camera down so you guys can be looking and touching and counting objects with me. And when we find a group of 10, we're going to circle it. You're right. And then notice here, it says I have 10 ones and blank ones. In that blank, we're gonna write how many are left over, right? How many we have outside of our circle of 10. So let's angle the camera down. I want to take a quick look to see. All right, we'll scoot this forward some. All right, there we go. Now we're going to take a look starting off with our circles up here. I'll slide it forward. So remember, our strategy to keep track of where we are going to touch and count. When we find a group of 10, we are going to circle it. That'll show us that we have 10 ones, and then however many are outside of our circle are going to be the ones we have left over. So touch and count with me really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I'm gonna stop right there because that last one I said was 10, and I'm gonna circle all those that I have counted so far. So now, I know inside of my circle I have a set of 10. You're exactly right. And then outside of my circle I see 1, 2, 3. So I would fill in my blank to say I have 10 ones and how many more? 3. You're exactly right. So we can go around a tree, around a tree. That's the way we make our 3. Excellent. Now let's take a look at our heart picture, guys. All right? I'm going to start here, and we're going to touch and count, saying a number for each one that we touch. And when we get to 10, we're going to stop, and we're going to circle all the ones that we've counted so far. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I'm gonna stop there. I know that I started here. I'm gonna circle all of those. So now look, inside of my circle, I have 10 what? Ones, right. But how many were left outside of my circle? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what number do I need to write in my space here to complete my sentence? 4. You're exactly right. I have 10 ones inside of my circle and 4 ones outside of the circle, showing me that I have 10 and 4. Now, down here they gave us 2 rows of X's. All right, they gave us some circles, some hearts, and they gave us X's to count. We're going to touch and count these, and we're going to circle a group of 10. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I can circle that group. And now let's count how many are outside of our circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait a minute. That's another set of 10. So I need to circle it also. So now I have 10 ones because I see it in a circle, but I also see these are in a circle. So how many must this be? Right. I have 10 ones and 10 ones. And guess what? 10 ones and 10 ones gives us our number 20. Thanks for counting along with me, guys. And we're going to use these same strategies that we were just doing to do your worksheet for today. All right, so this is what one of your worksheets is going to look like on your seesaw activity. What we're going to do is we're going to touch and count. Each time we count a group of 10, we are going to circle it, and then we'll write the number left over in our box to show us I have 10 ones and some ones left over. Let's touch and count here. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop. We will circle that group of 10, showing me that I have 10 ones inside of my circle. And how many would I have left over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 10 ones and long neck, tummy fat, Mr. 5 wears a hat. Great, let's look over here at the orange circles. This is an array, guys. We can count an array by counting our rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I'm gonna circle there all the ones that we've counted so far. I know I have how many inside of my circle? Right, I have 10 ones inside of my circle. And then how many are left outside? Let's touch and count them. 1, 2. Great job. Write that half a moon, more to do. Slide to the right to make your 2. So your box should say, I have 10 ones and 2 ones. Awesome. Next, they gave you guys a ring of apples to count. Now, it's very easy to get confused as you're counting in a circle. So what Mr. Baxter likes to do is I like to draw a little dot to show where I'm going to start. That shows me that I started counting here. So when I get to 10, I know I need to start my circle right there. All right? Let's take a look. Touch and count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I know I need to draw my circle starting here and circle all 10 of those apples. And that'll show. Now, what number can I write in this first box? I have how many inside of my circle? Right, I have 10 ones inside of my circle. And then how many are left outside? 1, 2, 3. Right, so we'll go around a tree, around a tree. That's the way we write our 3. And we fill in our math sentence to match our picture. Great job. And last but not least, on your worksheet, boys and girls, they gave you a bunch of like thumbtacks. You'll see little pins sticking out. But they're scattered all over the place. So we need to touch and count them. And each time we find a group of 10, we're going to circle. Okay? So let's touch and count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can circle these 10 that I just counted, showing me I have one group of 10. So I have 10 ones. And then let's touch and count to see how many more I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait a minute, we know if we've got a group of 10, we've got to circle it. So now if I have 2 circles, how many groups of 10 do I have? 2, you're right. So I have 10 ones here. And how many ones do I have in here? 10. You're exactly right. So this is how your worksheet will look today. And then the back side of your worksheet is going to look like this. I went ahead and drew the pictures. You're going to use pictures to match this math sentence. The math sentence says, I have 10 ones and 3 ones. Now, you're going to move squares to match the sentence. I moved 10 squares, and I did mine like a 10 frame. I went ahead and circled my group of 10 so I didn't get confused. And my sentence tells me I needed 3 more ones. So I drew 1, 2, 3. Now, down here, the math sentence says, I have 10 ones and 8 ones. And they wanted you to move stars to match this picture. So I drew 10 stars in a 10 frame. I can go ahead and circle those to show my 10 ones. And then they wanted us to draw 8 more ones. So I drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is how your back side of your worksheet is going to look like today. This is how the front side of your worksheet will look today. And here is how your application or story problem will look today for your Eureka Math lesson, Module 5, Lesson 3. And we are counting. Here, let's take a quick look, a refresher of what we did today, where we were going, and how we got there. Where we were going was I could count to answer how many, right? And we were looking at numbers 10 to 20. And then how we got there was I will say my answer, or with that big math word, describe as 10 ones and blank ones. And we came up with a new strategy today of circling those groups of 10 to show us a set of 10 and how many left over. I hope you enjoy your seesaw activity today. Happy Friday, boys and girls. Get your stuff done and then enjoy your weekend. Can't wait to hear some of your voices today. Baxter, out.